Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and fans, welcome to April. This is the Panther birthday month, and I've done this for 4 years. Well, 3 if you can count. We didn't start doing the themed months, but it's my month of my birthday, and I figured I give back to my community that is the podcast world. And we are opening podcast month, and today I have a gentleman that represents his podcast. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside podcast to the host of the 5-Star podcast. Welcome, dude. Welcome.
Put the ones in the sky. You're rocking with DJ Carolina X, founder of the 5-Star podcast. Saluting my guy, Joe Panther III. Thank you for having me, man. And happy early birthday, too, man.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
It's amazing. It's amazing to have me on this podcast, man. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but Hey, let's get this going. Let's get it going.
Awesome, dude. So first and foremost, usually I ask my wrestlers, the wrestlers I interview, and now you're added to that list of people that I've asked this question to for 4 years.
Ready?
My fans are not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself in your podcast.
Absolutely. So my name is DJ Carolina X. I started off as a DJ. I've been DJing for more than 2 decades. I'm a huge wrestling fan ever since the Attitude Era, just a little bit into the New Generation era. But my story is just as yours. I fell in love with wrestling. Ever since then, I started up my podcast. My podcast is pretty much fairly new. It's 6 months old. Called it the 5-Star podcast because one of my favorite wrestlers was Rob Van Dam. Of course, he has the best frog splash in the game. So I definitely want to present the best podcast in the game. Call it 5-Star podcast. And of course, we get our little ratings, Dave Meltzer wise, with our 5-star ratings when it comes down to different matchups, different storytelling aspects, different avenues, different venues when it comes down to the best show that you ever been to. We rate everything when it comes down to it. But other than that, right now, I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. I've been his fan since the Big Dog era. So if anybody want to question my validity of support with Roman Reigns, it's been there since day one. It's been there since day one. But other than that, I'm just a huge wrestling fanatic. I was telling Joe before we actually got live, I'm a huge fan of the production. The production is what attracted me to wrestling. And I haven't told him this. I told him part of this, but I haven't told him this. What really got me into wrestling is just me just flipping through channels just to try to find something to watch. Just to let you guys know, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan as well. And so even before I just started flipping through channels, I came across TNT. The first thing I seen is this wrestler that looked like Sub-Zero. You guys may know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Glacier. So definitely I got attracted to that. And the next opponent that came out was, I forgot what his name was at the time, but it used to be King. If you're not familiar with King, he's a huge WCW regular. He was dressed up like a green king. So basically, that was the first match that I saw.
Canyon. Yeah, I remember Canyon. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first match that I ever saw as far as wrestling. So I got attracted to the production side of that, even though the match was terrible.
Yeah,
the match was extremely terrible. So that what kind of kept me on. WCW was the first wrestling promotion that I kind of watched, and then that's when I got attracted to the other promotion, WWF at the time. Stone Cold. You could not turn a channel and not see that bald head son of a on it, just raising hell. So Stone Cold just lifted my spirits as far as, wanting to tell your boss to like F off, and just be, like a renegade, so to say. But other than that, that's what got me falling in love with wrestling. As I grew older, Of course, I love the aspect of in-ring skills, the Greco-Roman style, the Japanese strong style, the British strong style. I just started, elevating towards that. So I got into, New Japan wrestling, got into NWA, started researching all of those. You got a fan for me in life, just like you, Joe. You got a fan of me
Yep.
in life.
Like, when it comes to being like a fan like you are, and you also have a podcast, when you go out to shows, like, do you look at it differently now that you're a podcaster? I come, hey Vinny, welcome to the chat. Nice for showing up, buddy. He's one of my number one fans. Good guy.
What's up, Vinny?
Yeah, he's my number one fan. Been since day one.
Day one.
Day one fan. That's good. The good ones. Do you go to wrestling shows and you see them differently now that you're the one that gives them the ratings and everything, instead of like being just a fan who goes, I liked it, nah, I didn't like it.
Not necessarily. It is just the fact I still show up as a fan. So, of course, I will give my aspect of like ratings based off of the flow of the actual match. The only time that I look at them differently is if I interview them, because I interview some of the wrestlers, like Austin Theory, Sami Zayn, things of that nature. So what I know going on in the back of their mind and knowing who are they good friends with, I look at the match a little bit differently then, but I try to get out of that headspace and get back into the production of it. Like if they put on a great match, that's the only thing that I'm paying attention of. I'm not too much of a critic when it comes down to like if they botch here or they botch there. Oh, they should have done this. The referee should have done that. Oh, they should have booked it this way. Somebody should have won versus the other. I don't look at it that way. I just sit down as a fan like I was when I was 10 years old and just enjoy the match and just enjoy the product that they put on for us.
Yeah. It's so difficult these days because some fans see it that if they don't say, if some fans think like, oh, if they don't think they're not listening to what we're saying, they don't care. But we're podcast. It's like that. We should make a TikTok. I need to make a TikTok and drag your name. They have you guys. We're TikTokers. I think I've already seen that one. We're wrestling podcasters. Now we're the ones that when they say your case, you guys do the reviewing of wrestling shows. I guess for your case, if you give a WWE pay-per-view a bad review, they could be like, well, maybe we should change it next week. Like,
and that's a hard thing to do because you got to look at it on a global scale, AEW included, TNA included. They're not just going to only listen to our feedback. They're going to pay attention majority to the positive feedback. So if the positive outweighs the negative, then of course you're not going to see too many changes when it comes down to that, especially if we're critiquing something. Just like I can always remember this interview, or not interview, but this promo that Triple H had with CM Punk, 2011 summer of Punk. Like CM Punk wanted change. He wanted things to change around the company. Triple H came back with a valid point. Some people may hate the product that we're putting on, but majority of the people like what we're putting on. So I always look at that as well. And as soon as he said that, majority of the fans cheered. So it really comes down to like what the majority of the fans want, because if the fans are running the asylum, sometimes we won't get the storylines that we're looking for. I mean, we're a hot shot, some kind of booking versus letting the booking build up. You get what I'm saying? So like we're always looking for that instant gratification instead of letting the story cook. If we allow the story to build like it's supposed to be, then okay, cool. You don't want a 5-page book. Of course, you want it all the way up to about 30 chapters, so you could be hooked on for a long period of time. And so I don't want the fans to kind of like really run into a situation where like they feel like they want to book the show. I want us to be grateful of the product that they have. If they have some bad times, okay, cool. We just have to be patient and allow them to dig themselves out of that hole when it comes down to presenting something better, because they're seeing it. They're definitely seeing it. But if they pay it, if I was in, Tony Khan or Paul Levesque's shoes, I would just stay focused, stick with the story, because you never know. They might like something later on down the line. but still take that feedback into consideration as well.
Yeah. Like, did you ever like think that you were watching the old stuff, like you said, the old Attitude Era stuff, and you said you didn't get a chance to watch any of that stuff before? Have you gone on Peacock and watched that Superstars show? I'm
Yeah.
hooked to that show. Ever since I found out it was on Peacock, I think
Mhm.
I'm up to when Shawn Michaels won the Rumble, and he had the red trunks with the hearts on it.
Mhm.
And I think you're supposed to face Diesel, but I don't know if something happens in between. It makes me feel like if that was leading up to the famous Iron Man match when Shawn wins the belt, or is that
Was that the Rumble that he faced Brett? I think so. Where that 1 foot, touched outside the Royal Rumble. That's the one you were referring to.
Shawn wins the Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
And it keep leading up to Diesel versus Shawn. Diesel versus Shawn is
Yeah.
just Brett beat Diesel
Diesel
and
along the way. I don't know what
yeah,
changed. Yeah, I don't know what changed on the road to WrestleMania then. But I do remember that, they were heavy in their feud because, that's when they kind of like spread it apart, things of that
yeah,
nature. Shawn was on his own. But I think Vince just sat down and looked to see like what main event is gonna, make numbers. I think he looked at Brett as kind of like the breadwinner
yeah.
as opposed
It
to
really
Diesel.
was.
But I wouldn't have been mad if Shawn faced Diesel as well. I mean, that was a lifelong friendship that built up, sort of like Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, that built up to a WrestleMania match. I wouldn't have been mad if he faced Diesel at WrestleMania, but you can't really erase that Iron Man match. That Iron Man match was too
That
much of a
match
classic.
was if fans have not watched that Iron Man match, go on Peacock. Not now when we're
Please,
done.
please.
Before,
I understand
not
that
now.
they put that as an
Not
immortal
now.
moment.
After
with
the
Brett.
I was been watching a Nacho Libra. No, not now. Not now. After. You idiot. Not now. No, come back. Come back. First
Please, that'd
subscribe to
be
my
one of the
channel and also
best 1
subscribe to
hours.
their channel. Like, don't
You already know. Subscribe.
I'll make you a salad. Don't go. No, don't go. Nacho. Sorry.
Right,
If
man.
it's not me, it's not Joe. Okay, there you go. Get it? Instead of not Joe, you clicked on the wrong channel. That guy doesn't hang out no more. It's not Joe. Get it? Not Joe.
Not Joe.
Not Joe. It's not Joe. Not Joe. All right. When I worked in Keith, I worked one of my original jobs in PA. They always say I kind of look like Jack Black, and I was like, damn, I need to go to the gym.
I gotta see him
Like,
with the hair. I gotta see you with the hair, man. To make
I'm bald.
that.
But I
Is
have the
Jack Black
face.
bald? Have Jack Black has ever been bald? If I could put like a side by side comparison, then
I have the facial
okay, with the
expression.
hat, yes, with the hat, yes, yeah. I think you need to, talk to your father, man. Maybe you and Jack Black may be related. You never know.
I used to get John Leguizamo a lot.
Oh yes, you do. You do.
That guy
You
is my
exactly.
idol. I like everything when I was a teen. I'm an 80s baby, but in the 2000s, John Leguizamo was king. Like,
Right.
he had so many plays in New York. He had Sexaholic. He had Freak. I have a funny story that's not wrestling about John Leguizamo really quick. My mom brought me to see him play. She got me a few rows from the stage. Play ends. The stage lights come on. He comes on. Doom. He comes, slides on the stage. My mom's like, go. Just grab the stage and yell and point at him. He comes on. Lights came on. I jump, grab the stage. Nowadays, I would have been tackled immediately. I went like this. And he did this, pointing down at me. And I was just like,
life made.
oh my God. And it was like, oh, he secretly gave me all this like coolness. I was like, people, now I'm cool. So,
right.
He's making me cool. The red
That's
glass.
awesome.
I take them off and everybody goes, where'd he go? Watch, what? See? Oh, the viewers all just went to 1. Oh man. Oh look, no, they came back. They came back.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, but like I don't know, every movie that he ever did for me, except for like his ex-girlfriend makes fun of Mario Brothers. The one that he came out with what's his name? They always say it's something.
I forgot what it was, but you know when they was named Mario and Luigi Mario, that one,
Yeah, oh
the old
jeez.
one.
I
uh,
heard yeah, it was yesterday or today they're making a sequel to the Mario Brothers cartoon.
yeah, there's gonna be a part two.
I,
Definitely gonna be a part two.
I loved it. I was like, man, I was waiting. I'm sitting there like this. Nothing yet. I'm just sitting here making
I'm
fire
just
with my
glad that they
hand.
stuck to the lore of Super Mario Brothers because you know how they try to change up things. They stuck to each and every aspect of Super Mario, which I extremely love. Now, of course, with their success, they just want to catch up with the success with Sonic the Hedgehog. They seen Sonic the Hedgehog do amazing, so I guess they wanted to compete against that.
Yeah, I want to
So,
see where they go with this because if you've watched the last movie, they touched on a lot of different things in the different
mhm,
Mario world. The what
mhm,
are we going underwater? I went
probably
New York.
so.
I said water. We go. Are we going? We're gonna have a joke on the dum 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 with the swimming. Dum, dum, dum,
Right.
dum.
I
Are
want to
we
see a
gonna?
good. I want to see a good Metal Mario reference in this one as well, as far
Yeah,
as like, or maybe have Baby Bowser. I don't know. Baby Bowser may
the
be the
kids. Are we gonna meet the
yeah,
kids? Because it's Mario 2. Was that in Mario
exactly.
3 you met the kids and you faced them?
Uh, shoot. Mm, I haven't seen the movie with the kids. I didn't.
No, the video
I didn't
game.
know.
The video games.
Oh, the video game. Yeah, yeah, the video game.
Part
Yeah.
2
So,
had the little kids, right? Bowser's kids, right?
uh no, I think Bowser. I think Bowser Jr. came out to Mario Sunshine. I believe. I may
I
be
can't
wrong.
remember when they had the kids,
Maybe.
Bowser
Yeah.
children.
Yeah, I may be wrong. Oh, you talking about? Oh, you talking about the? I was thinking about Bowser Jr. I forgot Bowser had multiple kids. Yeah, I think that was Mario. I think that was Super Mario Brothers 2, where you had, each level had a different kid, a different
Yeah.
Bowser. Yeah, so
You had the little girl with the bow. She was so
yes,
mean.
with the little
She
pink
was
boy.
hard. She would
Oh
jump
my
up
god.
and like trying to kill you all the time.
Oh my gosh, man. Memories, memories.
Yeah. But the one I didn't like, I thought it was cool that they gave them like their doppelganger. So it was like Wario,
Waluigi and
yeah,
Wario.
Waluigi. But tell me the
Mhm.
truth: if you get a chance to go to Universal and go to Mario World, would you buy the Mario and Luigi hats? I'm down. I'm buying Mario and Luigi.
Absolutely,
I'm a
absolutely.
hat guy, hence my hat. I need to throw in a Mario and Luigi's hat. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
They got a fitted Mario cap. Oh, I'm buying it. I even though I'm a Yankees fan, and the red color red makes me gag. I'm like, I see a
Yeah,
Red
man.
Sox fan, and they're like, "Oh, Yankees suck." I'm like, "So do you."
Hey,
Don't be
tell
mean.
it like
Don't
it
be
is.
mean.
Tell it like it is.
So does your mom. You're from Boston. So does your mom. So
Oh
does your
man.
mom. I can wear the green hat. I'm a Jet fan, so green looks good on me. Red, and it kind of threw up when my dad said, "Be Mario for Halloween." Like, we bought you a hat. I'm like, "Well, I'll wear it."
You just do it. You just regurgitate it in your mouth a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
I was like,
little.
it's,
Yeah.
but it was not even it was a big floppy hat, and I have no problem wearing a Mario Day. I have to like show my props to Mario, but
Right. Right. Gotcha.
it could have been blue and red with red letter, a red M. Like,
We need to have our truth come out to the ring in a Super Mario outfit just to piss you off. Just to piss you off.
damn it!
Yeah.
I say
Damn
that.
it.
I never actually like interviewed. I've interviewed kids of legends like Tito
Hmm.
Santana's daughter Jenny.
Oh, that's
I've
amazing.
interviewed if you're ever looking for a kid of a legend, definitely try get Teal Piper and Deimos.
Hmm. Okay.
You know, do you know what
Who
Teal
who who
Piper is?
who the kids are? That's
Teal
Teal Piper.
Piper is the daughter of Rowdy Roddy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Teal Piper.
She's like her papa on the microphone. She has no fucks given.
Of course, of course.
She
It
will
runs in
rip,
the
and the
family.
eyes. She has those beady Piper eyes that just go what up? You know when it's game time, the eyes you can see the whites like me,
Right.
like the hands like that. Like she's
Definitely
like
would love the interviewer. Definitely would love the interviewer.
yeah.
Definitely
And then
would.
Deimos is her husband, I think boyfriend, husband, and he's
Mhm.
just like her heavy. He's like the diesel. He just stands behind her like yep, fuck
That's how it is.
around. You can find
Sounds good to me.
out. Like,
So, who's your favorite interview? Who's one
oh,
of
of
your
all
favorite
time,
of all time?
the woman that opened the door for me as an international, I would say my original, my if I had to do a top five,
Hmm.
top five favorite interviews of all time, number 5 would have to be Mickey Knuckles, the deathmatch
Mm,
wrestler, because her
mm,
stories were absolutely insane and she was funny and it was crazy. Um,
hmm.
number 4 would be um, number 4 would have to be Shorty, because me and her became like internet best friends on my personal account. We would talk
That's
all the
amazing.
time. Very
Right.
sweet, bubbly. She's no longer in wrestling because she retired due to her being a tattoo artist,
Hmm.
and she's an artist, so she retired like last year. So good luck,
Gotcha.
Shorty. I hope everything's good with you if you're watching or listening to this. Would be kind of cool. But
Salute to you, Shorty. Salute to you.
number 3 would be would have to be the one I just said, T- um, Rowdy Piper's daughter,
Tail
because
Piper.
she's Teal Piper. Like, she's absolutely awesome. And she also came on the other podcast with me and my sister. My sister had no idea who she was because she came steamrolling at me at a con.
Oh wow.
And her husband Damos looks like a pit bull when he's sitting there. He's jacked. Like, he's a jacked dude.
Mhm.
And he was following me with his eyes on it was like a snake following a little bunny with red glasses. And I'm just walking and I stop and I'm looking like this as this man is following me with his eyes. Like, I could feel his eyes burning my
Just
jacket. I was like,
piercing, yeah, just piercing your soul.
and I see them and I'm just like, why is this man staring at me? Only God, I'm so sorry if I stared at his girlfriend's boobs as she's shining. Oh my God, I'm
Oh
dying.
man. Oh my god.
And I look and I just go like this, typical me trying to be cute or funny. And I'm just like
Hey.
what? Like Kevin watching the cop car pull away in the end of Home Alone 1. Just like, I was like, I don't know who you are, but I'm fucking scared.
Right. You don't have
Just
to worry about
wave.
me.
Just wave. If you don't wave, they won't be mad. And he was
Exactly.
like that. I see his mouth move saying something going. And I see the
Oh,
woman. Hey, what's going on, DJ? Welcome.
DJ Ink, what's good? What's going on?
DJ Inks. All of a sudden, I see this woman standing and has her head down, and she does this, and goes, and her head moves to the crowd, and she does this, and I was like, see who it is? You know, my glasses are always dirty, so I was like, huh? Who the heck is that? And then she comes flying at me. She's about 5'9", so she's a tall girl. Piper, remember Piper was tall, so she gets in front of me and she's like, Joe, and I go, oh my God, Teal. I got legs. See,
Shut
I
up.
got legs.
Yeah. Right.
Because short, like I can't, like it's like a box. We're in a box right now. See, box. And then
Right.
she's like, and she jokingly, Piper joked to me. It's like, I guess the box is not that tall. And I'm like,
That's my.
and
knew
then
you
my
was hurt.
sister's like, my twin sister is my like forever my bodyguard because she's my twin sister and she's she's my fun half. Like, I'm the funny one. She's the cool actress one, the singing and all the stuff like that. But I'm the funny brother. So I'm the internationally known brother.
Oh man,
Not
awesome.
most twin brothers would have a tag team a podcast championship.
I'm getting myself one. Thank you for
You
putting me
got
on
it,
there.
man. Ruda Entertainment.
Thank you.
Ruda's the man. You definitely. I'll send you stuff, and when you get it, tell him Joe Panther sent you. So
Absolutely,
he helped me out. Yeah. So we went off track because I started talking about my favorite person, and the story was, yeah. All I'm saying is, so she sees me. My sister dives slowly in between us, and she goes, "What's going on here, Randy? Who is this?" And I go, "Oh, this is Teal Piper." And she goes, "Oh, cool, like Teal Piper." And I go, "Yeah, like Rowdy Piper." And my sister's not a big fan of wrestling, but she knows Rowdy Piper because Roddy Piper.
Of
And
course.
she was like, "You mean like Roddy Piper? Like the kilt and
Yes.
Yeah, my sister's eyes go whoop. And she's like, "Girl, oh my God, your dad was a legend." Like, my sister went
Absolutely.
from Diesel, about to go Cujo, because my sister played rugby in high school, in college. So she one of them tough girls. So she knows. She knows. She knows.
Exactly. And that's a testament to Roddy Piper himself and like big names, just that if your name is big enough to transcend outside of wrestling to non-wrestling fans, you're doing something right. You're definitely a legend or an icon in that aspect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's totally crazy that like to think that like wrestlers like Piper and Tito Santana and people like that, and there's other wrestlers that have kids that just never took on the mantle of their dad's name. Like, I'm just some wrestlers I wish I wish they would have let them get into the big WWE and stuff like that. But it's like crazy.
It's also due to their upbringing as well. It's kind of like it could have been a pro or a con to have somebody as famous like your father or anybody that that you're born under. Like
Yeah.
maybe picked on in school as far as like, oh, your daddy's a wrestler, ew, and all that stuff. So they may want to dive into something else, or it may be a good outcome. They may have a good life, or they still want to dive into something else because they don't want to live under that shadow of what that wrestler has built. So it's a catch-22 when it comes down to it. I've seen a lot of wrestling, families dwell away from the actual wrestler itself. And I've seen some people just pick up the mantle, just like you said, and just continue on the generation.
Yeah.
Just want to continue on the name.
And see, if we go back to my top 5, I think I'm up to 2. Number 2. Number 2 would be the woman that opened the door for this podcast for guests, the one and only Foxy. She was this podcast's very first wrestler / manager that ever, like, she came through. She did her she came on the podcast. She came on the podcast as a guest, and I thought we were just going to continue on this road of being just a pre and post show, kind of like predictions and stuff like that. And then wrestlers started messaging, and I was like, I'm gonna start messaging wrestlers, and other people were like, I don't want to do that. But I was like, let's just keep going with it. It's fun. We're doing it. We're enjoying what we're doing. And she just kept it open, and it made me feel so happy because I learned how to do this stuff from Foxy and her old show she used to do called Nerd Herders. It's like a nerd culture show about toy collecting, toy buying, ranting about nerd stuff. So Foxy, I know you're busy, probably watching this one day when I send it to you. Thank you again.
Hi, Foxy. Hi, Foxy.
She's cool. Good people. Tattoo artist too. Another tattoo artist. What is a wrestler? Wrestlers want to be tattoo artists, but no, she's covered. She got them tattoos.
It looks cool, man. It looks cool as a wrestler. Like just like that artwork. It just initiates the intrigue of the wrestler. Especially if they do not talk, the artwork will speak for them. So, you got Randy Orton, you got Rhea Ripley.
Like, oh God, so many
speaks for them. Yes.
Yeah, and number 1, always in my heart, the woman that I always say literally below the dudes at Ringside name, that when it says internationally known, the nail that says Kiara helped, the female wrestler from England, where we get those awesome flags on the opposite side of the belt that's below you. All the British countries always, as I say, the little nail that says Kiara helped brought tears to her eyes when I said that last year. The British wrestler Kiara. If it wasn't for Kiara, I would never be known in England. People would not be messaging me, getting it like 5:15 when I get up for work, and I'm eating my yogurt and I'm like reading back a message. I want to come on your podcast. I knew where you're from. I'm from the UK. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Like getting somebody in England to talk to you at like 2:30 or 11:30 time frame. But yeah, Kiara would be my number 1.
I know Kiara.
Yeah, Kiara, another one. She's another one you should try to talk to. And tell her, how'd you hear about me? Joe Panther told me you helped him gain that. If you say I saw the nail below the name and it said Kiar helped. So, and she's trained by one of the greats in the wrestling business.
What was that?
Trained by Lance Storm.
Lance Storm. My God.
How'd you do it? Lance Storm.
Lance Storm, man. The underrated wrestler, definitely a legend in his own right. Like amazing technical wrestler from the great country of Canada.
Yes. Well,
So
definitely. I had to put the. That's why I do the Lance Storm, the hands behind the back. Lance Storm.
Yes, if I could be serious for a moment.
Yeah, that's right. And we be serious. And her character, it's like he trained her so well to be a freaking evil heel. She has the mix of the Lance Storm, like serious, good moves, skills, flipping around where she does her moves. And her character is a heel, but not just this heel. It's like the William Regal early 90s. Everything's gross heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that pure British person heel. When then everybody hated, like, oof, get the tissue and go, oof. Yes, that is the rich, dirty. She's a princess, so she wears the crown. And when the kids say something to her, she goes, "Oh, these kids smell so bad. Ooh, gross!" Like
those are the main heels that I kind of like, man. It makes you want to hate them, but at the same time, they're doing their job so well. That's portraying like the upper echelon of human beings. They look at you like, oh, these peasants. Like, those are great heels. That's great character work to me. Like William Regal, and nowadays you got Ludwig Kaiser, that's doing that actual. Yes, he's amazing. Definitely a future world champion when it comes down to it. But
he'll get it. I believe he'll win it.
Yeah, definitely will. He has character. He definitely has character. Definitely want to salute him on that. Like he makes me want to see him. Like anytime that he comes out, I don't look in disgust. He's gonna put on a great match. He's great on the mic, great character work. Just like
his
how
walk down to the ring is so like perfect, hands behind the back, and then he's
yes. I don't know if you saw Avengers Endgame, but one of the side characters to Thanos, who gave that same the skinnier alien that had telepathy and all that stuff, he kind of gave me that too. He kind of reminds me of Loki too. He reminds me of Loki. So it's like I definitely
just his walk. His walk is so like perfect. It must have made him do the walk down the aisle when he first debuted. You can't make it look goofy. You have to make it look good. Like
right, exactly. It looks like he's a prince of a huge castle that has a huge trust fund, and like it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
He looks at the fans just like, ugh, stinky, and like
peasants.
And
that
like,
I love character.
Like for you, what would be your top 5? Or even you can make it top 6. It's up to you. How would you do your top 10? What would be your top matches of all time?
Top matches of all time. Wow. So many.
Seeing his heel now.
So many. Top 5. I'll just throw out like random, like in a random order. I would say 5, but I may think on it later on and might switch on. But I would say number 5. I'll throw it to Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. That was definitely a head-on classic. Like 2 of the greatest.
Ooh, Sherry had him too, man. He made the Shawn Michaels song about breaking ankles. That was that
build up was so funny for it to be a serious matchup for it to happen. Like they're back and forth. You got the greatest in-ring performer of all time in Shawn Michaels versus the greatest technical wrestler of all time in Kurt Angle at the time. You got great technical wrestlers right now, but Kurt Angle is pound for pound one of the best wrestlers that ever stepped foot in the ring. Coming from an Olympic background and coming from not a knowledge of how sports entertainment is, he grasped on like immediately. And he just gelled with everybody. And I knew he was going to gel with Shawn Michaels, but man, I didn't know they was going to put on a classic like that. And I'm kind of glad that Kurt Angle won too. Well, Kurt Angle was due for a win, and he put on
I'm a
an
huge
amazing
Shawn
match.
Michaels fan. I was so sad. I was
Yeah.
angry. I was
Oh,
angry.
you was angry?
I was like, why,
Yeah.
God? Why did you do this to Shawn? Why? I literally got
Right.
so mad I stormed out of the room in my dorm. I was like, what? In my dorm, in like the dorm room, the living room, they let us watch it. And I was like, why? And I just
Right.
like walked out.
Right. Number 4, I give it to Ricky versus Randy. I give it to that
Yeah.
for the IC title. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man, they tore the house down, man. Like, even though they won the main event, you think of that WrestleMania solely because of them. Of course, you got the slam heard all around the world, but that's the only thing that was made moment for that match with Hogan and Andre. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man, from bell to bell, amazing, amazing, super amazing. Trying to think, top three. This is tough, man. I'll throw a random one in there. I would say Johnny Gargano versus Andrade at NXT for the championship. But yeah, that's like one of the best NXT matches I've seen. I would say of all time, of all time that NXT has ever had. Top two. It's a toss up. It's the same people, Rock and Stone Cold. It's the same people, but it's a toss up between 17 and 19. 19 was a straight up wrestling classic. 17, it had, their moments as far as like, fuckery going around as far as, the inclusion events. But I would say that's up there in my top 5. And number 1 would be HBK versus Undertaker, the first out, WrestleMania 25. And to know the backstory on that Vince was only going to give them 5 minutes, 5 minutes for them to wrestle. Like,
what?
Could you believe? Yes, 5 minutes. They went. I forgot what documentary I saw, or it was a YouTube clip. But yeah, Shawn and Taker walked up in there. They was like, "Yeah, Vince told us we was only get 5 minutes," and they was okay with it. They left the office. Then they came back the next day. It was like, "Hey Vince, you can't do us like that. No, you give us at least minimum 20 minutes." And look what happened. It's billed as the best WrestleMania match of all time because of that, and rightfully so. Like the emotion, they put us on an emotional roller coaster as far as like you got Mr. WrestleMania versus the streak, and you also thought that Mr. WrestleMania was going to end the streak. Cool. You couldn't write a better story than that. You couldn't write a better story. And with them going in the ring and just performing, and they put everybody else to shame in the past 5 WrestleManias to me. So like that, to me, that's like the best match that I've seen of all time to me. I may change up later. Like I said, it's so many classics that's out there. There's so many classics that's out there. Honorable mention, I would give it to Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks, their first meeting in AEW. Like the build up to that match, the storytelling of that whole elite storyline, that was amazing to me as well. But that whole tag match, that's one of the best tag matches I've seen in my past lifetime. So it's like, I give that an honorable mention as well.
Yeah, it's like the guy in the crowd. It's a John Cena thing. Like, where were you when John Cena turned heel?
Yes, where were you?
Me?
Where was I?
I was doing Special Olympics. I was doing Special Olympics. I am a Special Olympic athlete. And we didn't have Peacock in the room, and I'm sad. So I had to watch highlights on my phone, and I'm like, son of a carrots and crackers, man.
I got a funny story on mine, but continue.
And the next day we get up early for our event, and I get up and I always watch my highlight. I brush my teeth, got my polo on, got my khakis on. I'm sitting there without in my bed with no Crocs on, feet all socks all up on the bed, and I'm just like, oh my God, My roommate's like
Yeah,
my
Johnny
buddy.
Rexville. Yes, you know.
Yeah. That's my boy. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Mhm.
All of a sudden I go, well, Matt, he's like, what's that? John Cena turned heel last night. He's like, I saw something on Facebook. I was like, yeah, what the hell? What's this world? What is this world? I was like, we've been waiting for this for 25 years. Damn it.
Now, my thing was, I called it on a few podcasts back. I said whoever wins the Elimination Chamber was going to turn heel. So at this point in time, I wasn't even expecting John Cena to win the match alone, let alone turning heel. So I didn't even expect that match. So we was live streaming that night. I only caught the first Elimination Chamber match because I had to leave Charlotte to go to Columbia to work. So as I'm leaving, I'm trying to watch on Peacock on my phone during, driving down the highway, and then almost got into a wreck. So I just put the phone down. I was like, forget it. I'll find out what happens tomorrow. Next thing you know, I get close to Columbia. I'm in my group chat with my colleagues that's on the podcast as well. Back-to-back messages. They didn't say what happened. The only words that I've seen it was, I knew it. All caps. They finally did it. Like, finally did what? What? The only thing I could think of is, John Cena turning heel. And I said that jokingly. So I called my colleague. He was like, yeah, John Cena turned heel. He kicked Cody in the nuts. He joined the Rock. And this is me in the car. I missed the whole historic thing. So I didn't get a chance to see it until the next day. But my gosh. Now, question I have to ask you, where would you put that heel turn up there?
Oh my gosh. Everybody puts it up like Hogan and the NWO. I'm like, that goes number 3 when Shawn Michaels turned on. I'm an old school fan. I'm Mr. Old School.
Oh yeah,
so that
Marty
for me,
yes,
that is for me. That is the moment that the Rockers broke up, and Joe went, "The world's not real anymore." The bright and shiny '90s boys, the Rockers just broke up, and Shawn Michaels went heel. And weeks after, when Michaels finally debuted as the Boy Toy, I'm walking into class like this. Like literally, a 9-year-old little boy with puffy hair is coming in like,
right.
Like,
but would you? Because I know WWE put that out there as far as like, John Cena was the number 1 heel turn of all time. But we really got to ask the fans. I know they just did that just to do that, just to make headlines. But what would you rank? NWO.
Well, I would rank that. How would I rank it? Like 10 out of 10 or 5 like that? Like, where would I? And like
who was better on your on your tipping scale, your lever scale?
Oh,
NWO or John Cena? Which one would you choose?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. The NWO one was like legendary.
Yes.
Like, you watch that again on Peacock and watch the Bash of the Beach from that year. That show was kind of okay. And when Hogan came out and gave a Macho the leg drop, now I go, damn, they really got some heat there. They made the fans pissed. They were throwing things. If you watch back, they were throwing.
The fan jumped in the ring. The fan actually jumped in the ring as well, and they had to beat up on the fan.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Kevin Nash gave him the good old boot to the face, and didn't Paul have to rough somebody up too?
Yes, the same guy. It was the same guy. Both of them tag team on that one guy. You just saw the video or the camera panning on the fan's face. It's like, what the? Why? And then next thing you know, next cut scene, the fan trying to climb in the ring. He climbed in the ring so gingerly. I was like, he's about to get his ass kicked. And what? Before you knew it, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall just, kicking the shit out of him. So it's like, I would still say Hogan and NWO would still be number 1, only because it birthed something later on down the line for a good year or two. That was the birth of the NWO. NWO was, classic in its own right. not only wrestling wise, but to non-wrestling fans as well. It was extremely cool. Extremely cool. John Cena was up there as well because it took, just like they said in the chat, it took 23 years for John Cena to turn back heel because as many times that they had the opportunity to do so, Vince never pulled the trigger. He never pulled the trigger. So this is refreshing to see. And it's kind of shocking to see because this is John Cena's farewell tour. You wouldn't think of that, on his last year,
You'd be a bad guy, like.
Yeah.
On your
last year.
Yeah. Are we actually, do you think we're going to see John Cena beat the living crap out of R-Truth or no?
That's what I'm hoping. And that's another thing. So it's kind of hard to call now only because John Cena's, even though this is his last year, he's still a busy man. And this past Monday was his last appearance until WrestleMania, which is crazy. So it's like with his movie roles, his appearances, it's going to be a little bit limited when it comes down to this year. So anytime that he comes, he has to make an impact. And an impact to me is beating the living shit out of R-Truth. Just think of your boyhood hero just beating the shit out of you.
Just give him the Wally, give him one last Wally pop. I don't want to, because we know R-Truth could bleed. Because if you watch NWA, that boy used to bleed in NWA. Like, bleed for us. No, NWA? Yeah, he was in NWA.
Yeah, he won the NWA.
Mm-hmm. The original image of the podcast International Wrestling Championship right there was originally going to be the NWA front.
Right.
But with the American flag and the Puerto Rican flag on the other side of that flag.
Right.
And
everybody thought he was going to come back as, Thugonomics, which I kind of glad he did not.
I knew he wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of glad because we're out of that era. Like that era was only for him imitating Eminem, which was big. Who was big at the time? Eminem was not as big as he is what he was back in the day. So it's like the Thugonomics era. It wouldn't make sense today. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of like this heel turn that he has. It hasn't blown me away because he turned into the whiny heel. Like, what have you guys ever done for me? I bled for you, but all you gave me was like. That is such a trope in wrestling.
Yeah.
As far as like you people did this. Like, okay, he's going down that route, but he makes it so convincing. So I don't look at him as like a true heel. I just look at him as like John Cena, who's tired of all the shit. He's
tired of all the bullshit.
Yes, that's how I look at it. I just look at it as like John Cena with an edge on. He's not really a true heel. I mean, what he did at Elimination Chamber was truly heelish. What he's doing now, I don't know if it's a slow burn, but
I love the memes now. I love the memes.
Yes.
With the kid, are you gonna do that to me? And then you send your girlfriend the John Cena hugging Cody over the shoulder face.
That meme is iconic now. It's so iconic. It's so iconic, man.
But, is Joe Panther the third about to go heel? And then it shows that face. Like
the devious face, but I gotta let it cook a little bit more to determine if this was the best heel turn of all time. It's still hope for me because, like, of course, we passed that timeline. A lot of time has passed. We've seen the outcome of his heel turn, which turned into legendary status. WCW beat them for 83 weeks because of that shit. So it's kind of like John Cena. He has to do a little bit more for me. Now, the promo that he just dropped on Monday, phenomenal. Chef's kiss. Okay, cool. But I need to see a little bit more edge. I need to see like some shit to be turned upside down as far as like, oh my gosh, how John Cena could do this to us. How can he do this to Cody Rhodes? How can he do this to the kids and everything? I need a little bit more edge to that because a lot of people, I've seen heels do way better than what John Cena is presenting right now, i.e. Tommaso Ciampa, i.e. Rick Morton in 2009. Like, I've seen better heels than what John Cena is portraying right now. It's shocking to us because he's been a babyface for a long period of time. So I understand. I definitely understand. But Hulk Hogan came out of fucking nowhere. It came out of nowhere.
Think everybody knows that Hogan turn made some fans hate Hogan so much that they couldn't
Death
even watch
threats.
wrestling anymore.
Death threats, man. It's like, oh, it was a raw time back in the day. It was a raw time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know times are different now and stuff, but it's like people still love John Cena because he's cool now. They think, finally we got to heal John Cena. Finally, I can support him now. He said F them kids. Like,
But he didn't say it, but he did. Like, you could tell he meant it.
yes, he definitely meant it. He definitely meant it. Oh my god.
Made me laugh. I was like, oh my god.
It's
I
up
told
there.
my sister I told my twin that doesn't watch wrestling and that's the one about the Piper thing, and she was like, "What? He's a bad guy now?"
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. It's a lot of streamers that I watch, gamers. A lot of streamers that I watch that's not into wrestling. They got into wrestling now only because of two things: Travis Scott and John Cena turning heel. That's all they were talking about ever since that it happened. So, like, of course, this day and age, John Cena is a huge name, and everybody loves him being a heel right now. I still gotta stand on. I gotta down this heel.
Makes me laugh that some of these people on Twitch were on live on Twitch now. There's, as you said, there's a lot of people that didn't do wrestling till like Cena turned heel and Travis Scott. There's a guy I love watching. He's a big Yankees fan, Joe's McFly. Mm-hmm. Last year he started doing like lives of like pay-per-views with his son, and I'm just like, you're a Yankees show, like do the live streams of the Yankee games. I like you, Joe. Don't touch my wrestling. You get out of here.
Right.
Like Nacho Libre when he gives him the corn Nacho, the guy with the long hair, Nacho Libre gives Nacho the corn, and he goes, "You get out of here!" And he smacks it into the mud. And he goes,
I mean, this is what me and my wife was talking about as well. It's kind of like, wrestling is getting popular again, and you see all these non-factors or non-wrestling fans just trying to hop on and ride the wave a little bit. And of course, we, in our heart, we want to gatekeep as much as we can, because how dare you getting on this late while we was enjoying this since its inception. So it's like, of course, we would feel that way, but at the same time, I wouldn't call myself a true wrestling fan if I didn't put the next person on. So it's like, you will want to create that fan base of people enjoying the same thing that you want to enjoy. But you also have to make sure they're enjoying it for the right reasons. Not trying to have monetary gain or, just joining on just because it's popular at the moment. Like, you definitely got to have love for this. Definitely have to have love for this game. Definitely. Just like me and you. And Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Man. And, oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Back. So, and it's funny because now you could actually watch that stuff on Peacock. People don't forget that. Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of glad that WWE, decided to put out like WWE Vault. You get to see a lot of stuff and behind the scenes of everything that you were able to see before. You love Peacock. That's why I was kind of pissed that they got rid of the WWE Network as well, because it was so in tune with everything. Like, just at the click of the button, watch anything from back to 1980, 1990s, 2000s, the 10s, the 11s, the 20s and stuff. But with Peacock, there's some stuff on there now when it comes down to it, but it's kind of limited to me. But, but just like you said, they kind of
changed it a little bit because they were supposed to add some episodes of they were supposed to add something of what was it? Like, they were supposed to add some episodes that they never added on Peacock. And but on Peacock, apparently on the network, when they would say WWF, they would instantly, like they said, a curse. But on Peacock, they say WWF. You hear them say
you can say it now. That's why I'm kind of glad they kind of lifted that ban, because, it's kind of insulting our intelligence now. We know exactly what it is, so you don't have to, blurt it out. I mean, the intentions is there. We know it's not known as WWF no more, but you can't erase what WWF was. You can't erase, the blood, sweat, and tears that those 3 letters has put into our childhood. So definitely just give it the respect of just saying that one letter.
Yeah.
You saw
I know I'm surprised they let it on Peacock because there is a real WWF is with the animals. So
yeah, World Wildlife.
How would they not catch that on there? Like, can't they get sued for saying it on a video that's been around since the 90s? Like,
not necessarily, only because they're not presenting it as far as like in present tense. I can understand back in the day, because you had 2 WWFs. When you think about WWF, you think about, hey, puppies and Degeneration X and all that stuff. And, when you think of Wildlife Fund, what they're trying to portray as a family-oriented business that's putting on the forefront with animals. And when you have people that call into the World Wildlife Fund asking to see about Trish Stratus and, the bra and panties match, of course, I understand.
They'll get blocked immediately.
I definitely understand. So, but like, still doesn't take away from the fact that World Wrestling Federation, was a pivotal point in wrestling. So we definitely want to give them that respect and added on that letter and saying that letter as well. So
yeah, they mentioned
sides.
it during the Vince McMahon story, the day that WWE died, or they called it the day that WWE went away. What did you think about the Vince McMahon special? I was absolutely like blown away.
I was intrigued by it, but at the same time, the way they built up to it, they was building up to the documentary as far as like we was going to find out information that we did not already hear, and that basically what it turned into. The documentary was just a drawn out story of what we already heard. To me, because all the information they presented, we already seen it in the court documents. We already seen it on the blogs. We already seen it on the dirt sheets. They just made it into a production-like situation and added on the special effects and the matches and the commentary just to add more intrigue to it. But it's basically the same thing that we already heard. So I didn't see anything new. I just like how the documentary was put together. Kudos to that. I give it a 3 out of 5. But the documentary itself, my gosh, just the story itself. Like, who would have known this man was living his truth on screen? Like getting Stephanie pregnant and like molesting all of these, allegedly, whatever. But it is wild. It's wild.
I now go, ooh, Vince.
That didn't age well. It was a lot of that didn't age well.
Yes, very much. And also, I saw the mustache in my mind. The cartoon me is going, nobody will understand. Nobody will know. And then I go, people won't know you anymore, Joe. Okay, push the fast mustache.
That's all good. It's all good. Like, don't let that deter you from what.
It's my trademark. No,
I know it's your trademark. Keep it.
My dad was trying to help me, and I couldn't see him. He was in front of me, and he's a big guy, and he moved, and it was gone, and I was just like, I want you to trim it down, not take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And just like, it's crazy that DJ Ink said that Hulk Hogan is like the Babe Ruth in wrestling. I had somebody that asked me who was the bigger star out of Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold. I say, even though I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan right now, you can't take away the fact that he was a huge star in the past 3 decades. Like, once you say Hulk Hogan, you solidify that with wrestling. Once you say wrestling, you solidify that with Hulk Hogan. They're gonna be like, oh, the guy that Hulk Hogan participates in, like, everyone knows Hulk Hogan. Everybody knows Stone Cold as well. Stone Cold wasn't a long tenor wrestler. Like, of course, he started off as ringmaster and all that stuff, and then
before that, Stunning Steve,
like with the hair, he had hair for
God's hair, that big blonde
hair for like. But at the
those
same
robes, look back, Stunning Steve Austin. He would wear robes. He wore vests. He was part of a tag team that never. If you put him on the top 10s of tag teams, they have to be there. The Hollywood Blondes.
Oh yeah, that's the one with Brian Pillman in it, right?
Yep, that's why I did this. the camera.
yeah.
Yeah, his
Man.
finishing
So,
move literally now would be kind of risky because he would not the stun. He didn't do the stunner like he does now. Before he did the stunner, he would take the guy, turn around, and throw him in the air, and their neck would hit the top rope. And yeah. So that was his look it up. That's what he would do. Literally, he would take the guy, throw him,
similar to Dax Hardwood like signature move where he kind of like puts it up in a powerbomb position and then powerbomb the top rope so it can ricochet back and then powerbomb it. Is it something similar to that?
If you have to look it up later on, it's like he takes the guy and he goes by the rope, by the top rope, and turns and the guy his neck bounces up the top rope like.
Ooh.
So it's not like the stunner like we all know. It has this. I forgot the name of the move. What this move used to be called, but yeah,
definitely see that. Definitely see that.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to have fellow podcast DJ. If my fans want to follow you guys on YouTube, how can we find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me at DJ Carolina X, and then you can follow our podcast at the 5-Star Pod without the cats. So the 5-Star Pod. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Also follow us on X as well. So definitely we want to get in tune with, the fans that love wrestling just like we do. That's the whole purpose behind it. It's still real to us, damn it. So
yeah, that's me every time my dad goes, you always talk about this stuff so much. I'm like, still real to me, damn it. Exactly. I just leave my head, I go, it's all your dad's fault, man. If I didn't know it was, I wouldn't be watching the damn stuff. I'd be staring at them girls then.
Yeah, man. So it's like
I still be staring at the girls at the show.
Hey, your secret is safe for me, man.
Then why are you staring at them girls like that? Because they're wrestlers. And they're staring at me like that too.
Exactly.
They're just staring at me going, why is he staring at us? His glasses are so dirty. They're like staring at me going, I'm like, come here. And they're like, come here. Here, fine.
Oh man.
Their glasses were so dirty.
NXT and SmackDown will also join Netflix. Yeah, we hopefully see that soon, man. Definitely
that would be good for me because I don't have cable and I'm sitting there watching pay-per-views looking like the dog staring at the answer machine. I'm just like,
yes. So many spoilers. There's so many spoilers. But yeah,
I'm so confused with NXT because I love NXT. I love their product. I love what they're doing on the pay-per-views. I like the characters. But I can't watch it because I don't have cable and I can't have USA or whatever they have it on now.
And by the time you watch it on Peacock, then there's, of course, Stand and Deliver. You got to watch it 9:30 in the morning, which is baffling to me.
What, really?
Yes, their pay-per-view is going to be at 9:30 in the fucking morning. Saturday morning cartoons. Yes.
It's Saturday?
The Saturday of the WrestleMania.
Oh,
the first WrestleMania day. I understand they got so many stuff. Like you got SmackDown, you got the Hall of Fame, but you can't make it at least a little bit closer to the afternoon. Like that's
you can't even drink a beer and enjoy the show. You have to drink
exactly like that's the first thing you're thinking about. You're gonna be eating eggs and Benedict and like
get my champagne with the orange juice.
Exactly. Give me a mimosa, man. Like you're gonna be drinking mimosa at 9:30 in the morning.
Black glasses because the night before you were pre-gaming before Mania weekend.
Oh, don't get me started on like the after parties that they're having. They just booked a whole lot of after parties for each event.
Are you going to Mania weekend?
I wish I was.
Me neither.
Here. Well, this is an exclusive for you. I was going to announce it on the podcast on Monday, but if you're anywhere in the Carolinas, if you're located in the Carolinas, we're doing a large WrestleMania watch party on both nights at Synergy Movie Theaters. It's going to be located in Charlotte, up to 100 people per theater. You come in, watch WrestleMania from start to finish. It's going to be refreshments. It's going to be food going to be served. It's going to take care of you. All of it is completely free as well. So everything is taken care of for it.
So you don't have to pay to get in or anything? Like
I have to pay to get in. Nope. This is how this is our love for wrestling that we're going to present to everybody else that loves wrestling as well. So if you're in the
Are
Carolina
you guys
area,
gonna do a big thing? Are you gonna do like a big before the show on the stage or anything, like a big live prediction show live or anything?
yeah, we're probably going. It's going to be a lot of games. It's going to be a lot of predictions, that a lot of giveaways as well. If you predict right on each match, we're going to be giving away T-shirts. We're going to be giving away paraphernalia, things of that nature. Like not only for WWE but for everything, like everything. Magazines that we have collectibles that we're going to give away. So it's going to be an awesome 2-night show. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, cool. And a guy in the chat, ECW was awesome. DJ, you missed it last night. I had Angel from ECW on the podcast last night, so you definitely go back after your finish.
I gotta go back and check it out.
She was awesome.
Definitely.
She hasn't been in the ring. She got injured in a ladder match, so that's all I'm gonna say. She hasn't been wrestling, but she said some fun stuff about ECW from back in the day. Paul Heyman is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
ECW maybe fall in love with Metallica.
Yeah,
because they entertain that.
I would
Maybe
never known
fall in
about
love with
Jason
Metallica.
Knight. So I would never known
There you
about
go.
the Eliminators. Never known about Jason Knight. The Dudley Boys, Taz,
Dudley Boy. Come on,
Joey
man.
Styles. Oh my gosh,
Eddie
there was so
Guerrero,
many
Chris
legends.
Benoit, the Lionheart. Like
Yeah,
the list goes
Jericho,
on.
Rey Mysterio,
Exactly.
Dean
Mike
Malenko, Psychosis, Eddie Guerrero. We saw Stone Cold come and go crazy, go to ECW. The Sandman. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's so many teams. The Pitbulls, Raven, Tommy Dreamer. My gosh, Francine.
Francine. Oh yeah, Francine, Tommy Dreamer, all of that. Raven.
Dawn Marie.
There you go, man.
Oh my gosh, there's so many teams, so many in the famous HCW arena, like the Philly crowd.
Ballroom. Oh my gosh, man. My gosh.
The crazy but late great New Jack. Like
yes.
Oh, another before we go from me representing ECW, we were doing our podcast. We interviewed the Dirty Heel podcast, and that interview went from happy, yeah, we're all good, like our energy with this one, DJ, today. And someone I see across my screen, Pablo has passed away. So I click the link, it goes on the corner of my screen, and I see it goes across my screen. New Jack has passed away. And I'm just like, oh, please don't say it. Don't say it. And my chat starts going, rest in peace, New Jack. Rest in peace, New Jack. And I'm like, oh. And then we all were going, oh my God, this is real. Oh my God, New Jack. I'm like, God, stop saying that. Like, he really passed away that day. That's
crazy. That's one way to end a stream. That's definitely one way to end a stream. But at the same time, it's kind of like a celebration as well. Like New Jack was definitely here to make a name for himself. Like anytime that you hear that name, instant fear comes upon you, especially if you're going to be wrestling against him. Oh my gosh, may God be with you. But I know.
And then they say you got to do a scaffold match against him. Oh no.
Oh no! I'm not doing any kind of match. I'm not even doing a normal match with him. I don't know what he's capable of.
He's seen take out something out of his jacket and it's a pizza cutter. Oh boy.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Why?
Why did he get that pizza cutter? Has he put it in bleach? Has it been cleaned? Like
New Jack walk so Nick Gage can run. That's all I gotta say with that.
I actually messaged Nick Gage and I never heard anything back, but I would love to have him on the show. I would love to hear because I had interviewed. That's another one you got to try to get. Mickey Knuckles.
Definitely.
She's a deathmatch girl, and she is funny as hell. Mickey is funny. Oh my God!
Gotta check her out.
She's a legend. If you know, ask anybody who's Mickey Knuckles, they'll be like, "Holy
that
shit.
Crazy bitch!
That bitch is crazy." My dad watched the clip. My dad doesn't watch. Papa Panther watches it through me, so he comes to the shows, and people see him and go, "Papa Panther, oh my God!" And he's like,
"Right."
Joe's right there. Don't ignore me. He's like Diesel. He's just like.
Salute to Mickey Knuckles. Rest in peace, New Jack. Rest in peace, New Jack. Man.
Yeah, but like he saw a clip of Mickey getting thrown into a cage and she got zapped by being electrified. And my dad's like, there was smoke coming off her ass. And he sent me the clip on Instagram. And I was like, And I'm like, oh God, that's just Mickey.
I don't know how they do it.
You know her?
I do not know how to do it.
My dad's
I
like,
do
that
not
looked
know.
like two hams. It looked like two hams. And I'm like, Dad, really? He's like, you know that girl? I'm like, yeah, I knew her. That's Mickey Knuckles. He goes,
Right.
oh, that's that girl. You told me that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I want to say it to her face, but she's Mickey Knuckles. She'll throw me through the cage, and my head will be covered in pieces of cage and smoking, and I'm like smoking on the ground.
Like a grill.
But,
oh my gosh. Ooh.
Yeah, do you have any new episodes that are that you recorded that are loading anytime soon?
Not really. We just recently loaded a interview that we did with an Emmy Award winner by the name of Dia Shin. He focuses on women's wrestling only. My wife and her colleague, they just did a video with him and uploaded on YouTube. Actually, this morning, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So we uploaded that yesterday, but our next video that we're going to have is going to be a live stream that's going to be on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Other than that, we're going to be putting out more content. I just got back from overseas, from Japan. So we're just getting back in the swing of things, catching back up, putting out more content. And then we're also going to put out the rollout for our WrestleMania, watch party. And so we're going to be doing a lot of things when it comes down to WrestleMania season. We got a lot of more interviews that's coming up, coming out from down to the referees, down to former management, down to talent from TNA that we have coming up. So we're definitely going to be excited for that as well.
Awesome.
So
if you want to subscribe to their channel, fans, I put it in the chat. So if anybody wants to subscribe and give them a huge check them out, they're doing some good stuff, fun stuff over there, supporting independent wrestling or wrestling in general. Give them support, follow them on all their social medias. It's an honor and pleasure to have you on here, DJ. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm DJ Carolina X.
And we will catch you in the next one.
Goodbye.